So hey Sarah, how are those new parenting techniques we talked about last week going?
Well, I did pretty good the first week, but my kid upset me and I kind of flew off the handle and hit him. But I mean, you have to know how that is when they get smart and you just, it's just
No,
not a
I
big
really
deal.
can't relate. I don't hit my kids. What triggered you? What triggered that response from you?
Well, he started to get smart with me. I'm not going to let my kid talk back to me. You know what I mean? I mean, you're not going to let your kid talk back to you, right?
Well, there are different ways to handle um, disrespectful children other than hitting them.
Well, I mean, what do you do when your kid acts up?
Well, when my kid acts up, I have ground rules in my house, and I don't make them follow the rules. What? How do you handle that situation?
Well, I tell them what to do, and if they don't do it, sometimes I just take my shoe off and throw it across the room and say, "Hey, I'm talking to you."
And do you think that's the appropriate way to do it?
Well, I mean, it works sometimes.
And,
Sometimes they pick it up and throw it back at me.
and then how does that escalate? Does it get worse or does it get better?
Yeah, we get into fights. But I mean, all families fight, right? I bet you and your kids go at it all the time.
All families disagree, but all families definitely don't fight.
Mm.
Taking it to the physical level really isn't how I conduct my parenting techniques and how I feel that parenting it should be conducted. Do you feel that is the best situation or the best way to handle that?
Well, I mean, my daddy used to pull a switch off the tree and beat the crap out of me, and I'm fine. I never talked back to him. So I
No,
guess it works.
but you're having to do the same thing to your children. And do you think that if they have to do the same thing that you did to your children the same way that your dad did that to you, that it's a necessary cycle or there's a different way that can be handled, a more productive way?
Well, I mean, other than the skills you taught me, I've never heard of any other way to do it. So I just don't know. But I know that if your kid was talking to you the way my kid was talking to me, you'd have smacked him in the face too. I bet it.
You think so?
Hmm.
I don't think so. I don't, my kids are kids, and like you said, everybody has kids, and we all know how they act. And I have just the same problems as you do. Just like you said, we're both the same, but we both handle our actions differently. And how do you think that you could have handled your actions differently so you wouldn't have this? Because I can see by what you're saying that you have some type of remorse because you brought it up. And do you feel like that you kind of regretful in hitting your kids?
Well, yeah, I do. I regret it.
Okay.
But I mean, haven't you ever just gone off, gotten so mad that you just blew up? Hasn't that ever happened to you?
I have personally, I mean, I'll just share this honestly with you because we're both parents. I have had emotional outbursts, but I've never used physical violence with my children. And then after that, I have to sit down with my kids and explain to them why this happened and why this, and then we all kind of move forward from that perspective. So everybody's on the same sheet of music. So my advice to you would be to look at it from your kids' perspective. How do you think your children feel when they're physically reprimanded?
Right, right.
Yeah,
It's kind of like when my husband and I get into it, we start hitting each other. You ever hit your wife?
I don't hit my wife.
Never?
No, do not hit my wife. Um, that's a whole different thing that we could all address in like group counseling of some sort. But physical violence isn't the answer. You'll never get that physical violence is the answer for me. Okay? So, I mean, we can move forward with the treatment on the thing. And remember last time when you came in and hit your kids, what we had to do?
Yeah, I remember.
Well, we're going to have to get the phone out and make that call again.
Okay.
And we're going to work through it together.